for the longest time, I just looked at myself as a drummer,
Right.
but it wasn't until recently where I started to want to do more.
Hmm.
And I've always thought about producing and different things like that, man. But one thing that I have been really into is like music directing.
Yeah.
And so I currently music direct at a church in Fort Worth on in midweek, like midweek services.
Hmm.
And so it's been a really good start for me, a really good just new ground for me.
Right.
Not just with like learning my instrument even more, or learning how to direct people, but at the same time, like in my leadership skills as well.
Hmm.
Um, Learning how to see and view the big picture rather than like I just have to make sure my instrument is correct.
Right.
Um, Now I have to make sure that everybody on stage is together in
Hmm.
like one piece, one body, and so that's been really really cool. I think that's been the best part of me being a music director is like my whole viewpoints have changed, and it's really really
Right.
cool. Yeah. So, but yeah, man, drummer, MD. That's kind of what I do, man. So yeah. So right along with that, my biggest inspiration is Calvin Rogers.
Yeah, Calvin.
And
Woo.
bro, yeah, he's a monster, man.
Right. Right.
Calvin Rogers. But honestly, for me, he was the reason why I wanted to take this step into music directing.
Mm.
And then like I think like probably 3 to 4 years ago, I think I mentioned that to some people, like, hey man, I think I want to start music directing, and they kind of like laughed at me. It was like, that's funny. Like you're a drummer. First off, you don't play a corded instrument.
Right. Right.
Secondly, like there's no way people are going to be able to hear you through talkback because like drums are going to be picked up, and so it's crazy. But then like this church gave me the opportunity and the chance, and like it's been a blast. And so like
Man.
Calvin Rogers for sure uh, has been really influenced me, not just with like his playing, but just his leadership and how he views music, how he approaches music. And he's been on so many recorded projects.
Right.
It's been really really cool, man. But on a week to week basis, like I'm just out of Dallas alone, man. We got so many cats like Taron who's
Yes.
on tour with Corey Henry right now.
Hmm.
He's a Dallas guy. I got to see him. I know him personally. Got to see him live.
Right.
Um, he's a great dude. Then you got guys like Marcus Jones and Cleon Edwards. Those guys, um, they both kind of go back and forth playing for Erica Badu. I know Cleon plays for Jill Scott a little bit, and that has his own project. And so, man, these guys keeps it like they keep pushing me, man. And then I have a friend of mine named is Tyrone Turner out
Right.
of Oklahoma City.
He
Dude
is
is
amazing.
he's a monster, man.
Right.
He's a brother to me, man. Man, I've been fortunate and honored to play for Oaks Worship. Like that's kind of they were kind of my starting point when it came to traveling a little bit,
Yeah.
and then also recording as well. I kind of got my start with them, Oaks Church in Red Oak,
Mm.
Texas. Amazing church, amazing worship pastor and leader, Clayton Brooks. It's phenomenal. He's an independent artist. He's got some great stuff out right now. But Oaks Church is one of them. And then, man, I got to play behind Phil Stacy while being at Oaks Church, which is really
Wow.
really cool. He was American Idol runner up, so that
Right.
was really really cool. And then after that, man, I kind of by happenstance, I was playing an event and then hooked up with a guy named Sojo, Joseph Sojourner, out of Atlanta, and so he was connected with Passion and that whole crew
Wow.
out there, Andy Stanley, all those guys. He's a rapper. He's really really great. He's also a communicator as well, so he preaches as well.
Wow.
Um, but he also raps, man, and so I've been on a few shows with him. It's been really, really cool. And then I think my biggest, probably my biggest accomplishment is being on being out with Jimmy Needham. Um,
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
in Houston, like last year sometime.
Hmm.
That was really, really cool. Playing with him, getting to be out with him, and seeing how a real professional does goes to work. And
Right.
it's really really great. It's really, and it's on a whole other level too, man. But he's great people, man. And so, but I can't forget the guys that I play with locally, Danny and Chris. They're out of Fort Worth, and then D and Chi out of Dallas. Um, and both separate bands, because a lot of people get them because it kind of sound alike, so a lot of people kind of get them mixed up. But both of them are doing amazing things right now. D and Chi, with actually American Idol's getting ready to air, like tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and Darren and Chima are both featured on there.
Wow.
I can't give any more news than that.
That is
but
awesome. That's awesome.
yeah, they're on there. So yeah, so tune in, man. March 3rd, which I don't know when this will air, but yeah, man. So it's really really cool.
You're a dreamer, and
Hmm.
you kind of have that mindset. So, my
Right,
my next question is just, why do you do what you do?
man. Dude, a lot of people don't know this, man. As a baby, um, I was in church. This was before I was. My parents tell me the story,
Hmm.
but I was in church and I had a seizure
Wow.
before I was even one. And the pastor who was preaching at the time, he was in the middle of his message, came down, prayed for me. Um, they called the ambulance, and when the ambulance got there, they took me to the hospital, all this stuff, ran tests. They didn't know why I had the seizure, um, and and uh, I've never had one since then. I've never had an issue with seizures, nothing like that.
Wow.
Um, Crazy thing is that after that, um, uh, my parents say that I would always give them, scares and stuff because um, I would move really, really weirdly in my sleep.
Mm.
I would move like fast and weird in my sleep and stuff like that. And come to find out, they they realized I was playing drums in my sleep, and so so after that they were like, oh, okay, this is what it is, And so when those same movements I was doing in my sleep were the same movements I was doing when I was awake, they're like, oh, he's playing drums. That's what's happening. He's not having a seizure. He's playing drums. And so it was crazy, man. And so bro, I do what I do, man, because God has put this on the inside of me, deep down on the inside of me, bro. And it's like it's nothing that I ever had to um, necessarily like fight for.
Mm.
Um, Everything that I've been able to do, God has opened up the door for me to do it. And on top of that, man, it's just a natural gift. I have a natural hunger to learn, to be better.
Right.
A lot of people have to like work to even work up the energy to even learn how to get better at at something,
Right. Right.
no matter what it is. And so I'm fortunate and blessed that this is something that God put on deep down on this side of me, and I'm always trying to get better at it. And so, man, I do what I do because of that. And then on top of that, man, as of late, I've been really like, I guess, challenged to make sure that people are encouraged by what I do,
Mm.
and that it's um, not just about me playing drums and me being a good musician or whatever the case may be,
Right.
but it's about like people leaving inspired, people leaving your presence and saying like, man, I like he makes me want to be able to do that, or he makes me feel like I can go do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is, no matter if it's music, no matter if it's whatever, sports, athletics, whatever the case may be. Um, that's my biggest goal, is that I've taken on this motto, and that is to inspire with my gift but encourage with my story. And
Man. Wow.
so yeah, so that's kind of what I've been taking on, man, and that's kind of what I want to do.
Mm.
And God has put me in positions to be able to do that, and I'm super fortunate and blessed and honored. I don't take it lightly, um, because now it's one of those things where it's like, this is I'm having to shepherd my gift. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? And so I'm having to kind of um, take my gift as my own and really like make sure that what I do um, people. It's not about a show. It's not about being seen or anything like that. But
Right.
it's mainly about uh, man being an encouragement to others, and that's what I love to do, man. I want to inspire people with my gift and encourage my story. So yeah, man. So that's why I do. That's ultimately why I do what I do right there.
What advice would you give to a musician coming, starting out in the music industry, just fresh?
Yeah, totally. Oh man, I'll give this the same advice that a friend of mine, Joey Parish, gave me. Now Joey's like he has been able to tour with guys like uh, I want to say Stephen Curtis Chapman,
Mm.
uh, and then also Sheldon Shane, Jimmy Needham. Like he's been out with all these guys, and I asked him the same question, like, hey, give me
Wow.
some advice. And he said, "Man, like, keep playing, like, say yes to everything, and that's exactly what I did. And so,
That's awesome.
as far as for an up and coming musician getting into the industry, man, say yes to everything.
Mm.
Because first off that's experience for
Mm-hmm.
one. Secondly, that's connections for another. And a lot of people will tell you that in anything, no matter what it is, it's more of who you know rather than what you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so a lot of times you see these musicians who are on tour, and a lot of them didn't have to audition.
Mm.
A lot of them, their audition was the tour, or
Man.
their audition was the gig, and they got the gig um, because of somebody that they knew.
Mm-hmm.
And so, with that being said, I think my last piece of advice is stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Mm.
And I think that's my biggest thing, man, is that like if it's about if this industry is about who you know rather than what you know, you never know when you're gonna get a call.
Mm-hmm.
And so why wait till you get the call in order to get prepared and to know your stuff and to um, you know to keep up with um, your consistency and how you approach music, and why
Right.
wait until you get that call to keep up with all that stuff, rather than like keeping up with it and then getting the call and then being like, okay, yeah, perfect,
Right.
like, all right, I'm ready. I'm ready. I've been prepping for this moment all this time, by the experiences that I've had, by saying yes to everything,
Yeah.
and then by continually to connect with other people, and now I'm ready, and so I think that's just pieces of advice that I would give anybody coming into the music industry, man. Instagram, you can find me under MKG underscore 323. And then Facebook, Mason Grimes or MKG 323. I have like kind of linked account, a business account linked between Instagram and Facebook. But you can search me under Mason Grimes and on anything, and it'll pop up as far as
Awesome.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all that. So just Mason Grimes or MKG 323, and it'll pop up. But and YouTube, same thing as well. So
Sweet.
and I'm wearing a shirt that I created here of my own.
Yeah.
And so, if anybody knows me and follows me on social media, my brand is MKG323,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just my name, and then my favorite Bible verse, Colossians 3:23, and that simply says, whatever you do it as unto God,
Mm.
not working for man, and that's really what I want to live by.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but yeah, man, it's really funny. I wore this I think to church on Tuesday, and when somebody there was like, "Hey man, I love that shirt. Where can I get it?" So
Wow.
I was like, well, DM me on Instagram, whatever you want, and then we can work up something. But honestly, man, I just got a couple shirts from the store, and and I got some. I made something for my wife, and I made a couple things for me, and I just wear them. And so they'll be featured on some of the upcoming covers. But yeah, I didn't have a plan on selling this stuff or anything like that, but. If you like what you see, um, definitely DM me and we can make something happen for sure.